Alright, well, to start this video off, I messed up a little bit. Forgot that there is footage on a different camera, so some of the stuff from the last episode didn't make it into that. As far as how we installing the crossmember, how we built the shock towers, a few things like that. So what I'm going to do is go back to that, start this part 3, with that footage, and you'll see how we put the crossmember in, clean up the frame, and then get those shock towers built, how that's done. We get them bent up and everything. So we'll start off with that, and then we'll get on to prepping the axles and all of that stuff. So enjoy, but that's where we're starting, and that's why it might seem a little jumbled up. But just wanted to get it all there for you guys, trying to give you the most raw shop experience of really what it's like to be building one of these things in a shop in a quicker time manner in just a couple weeks. So enjoy. Alright, well, we got the old crossmember all cut out, frame cleaned up, lots and lots of grinding to get that nice and smooth. Got the transmission supported and transfer case. Next step is we've got to put our crossmember together, and then we will slip it in here and get it to slide into place, and then tack it in place and fully weld it. And then that way you can put your transfer case and transmission back down onto its weight, and it'll be all good to go, and it gives you your link mounts and everything for the 05 and up axles. What are you working on? Steering. The belly of the beast. Connecting that to that, the steering can work. So I try to use a combination of stock parts and aftermarket parts to make this work, but it makes for a nice setup. Why don't you explain what's going on here?
Factory Toyota parts, basically, all the way from here back up into the cab. New firewall plate with new grommet to make sure it seals, less road noise. Other than that, it's just lengthened stock IFS steering link. The stock one's obviously too short because it goes down here, but other than that, splines are the same, and everything bolts up and works nice.
This is a nice setup too, because it keeps these pinch bolts, the factory pinch bolts that kind of go into recess on the shafts, both here and the shaft up there. Generally, when you do like the Borgeson setup with the universal joints, they use a like a pinch style bolt that it works, but you know, once you, or not a pinch style, you use a set screw style, that as soon as you set that screw down in there, you know, inherently the way that works, it has to kind of mess up some of the splines or whatever material it's going into. Well, then it makes it harder to get the joint off. Sometimes the set screws loosen up, then they get lost. It's happened on the trail to us before, even with red Loctite and whatnot on them. So this style is really cool. It's a lot more, well, factory and less prone to any problems with these style bolts. So really nice to be able to keep some of that factory style parts, and it'll just function the way it should. the axles that we're going to be using for this Tacoma build. They were supplied by the customer. I believe they're out of an 08 F250. Dana 60, not a Super 60. It is a Dana 60 from a Super Duty. Big difference. A lot of people on the internet get that messed up, so don't get that messed up. This is not a Super 60. It is a Dana 60 from a Super Duty. A Super Duty 60.
Duty.
We're just gonna clean it up. We're putting new ball joints, U-joints in it, and then obviously taking a few of the things off. We're gonna cut off the track bar bracket here. That'll get cut off and we'll put our own track bar bracket on. Obviously we'll get it re-geared. Gonna put a Toyota flange on it so that we can essentially just lengthen the front drive line. Again, kind of keeping the cost down, keeping it to more Toyota parts, and they work really well, especially in this setup with that tube diameter on the front drive line. And the rear will get cleaned up as well, cut off the shock mounts here, the perches, put our new own perches on, and that will allow us to put these in the Chevy 63s that just got delivered, and those will be going in the back here. Front spring hangers on, the shackle mounts right under the frame, and we'll be looking good. So that's what we're gonna do, but right now we're gonna go get lunch. So at this point, we've got both axles cleaned up, all the brackets cut off of them, ready to put our own brackets, our own perches, all that stuff on them, and put them under the truck. So the plan for tomorrow is to get them re-geared, locked, all set up and ready to go back under the truck with the leaf springs and the front radius arms. So part 4 is going to be about re-gearing them, and we'll try to get into a little bit of what it takes to re-gear these axles and what's involved in doing it right, and some of the hurdles that you sometimes run into when re-gearing an axle, making sure that they're done correctly. So stay tuned for part 4. That'll be coming out, and we'll focus specifically just on re-gearing the axles. Not really a how-to, but a really interesting video on how that's done. So stay tuned.